Okay. You want to see? So the first thing we're going to do, I don't think we've done it yet, have we? Have we done matrices yet? We haven't done matrix yet. So yeah, first thing we want to do is how to type in a matrix. So you see here under author up the top, you see author up the top, and you can pick matrix and then you get this window. So what does this mean? Well, I'm sure most of you know, but if you didn't, rows are this direction and columns are this direction. So if we want our normal 2-2 matrix, we have to put in 2 and a 2 here. So we'll do that first. So 2 and 2 and OK. And then this window should open up.
Click the button to get started.
Oh dear. You got that? So let's type in the simple matrix. We'll just put in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, okay. Oh, you need to write. It's already installed, don't worry. Let's see. There you go. You got that typed in? Good. So the first thing we're going to do, I thought you were sharing. You have your laptop with you?
No, I'm okay.
Good, okay. So you use that one. What number is on this? What can you see? It is, yeah. Okay. Now, what we're going to first calculate is the inverse. So what I'll type in first is line number 1. Nobody asked me where the hashtag symbol is. I told you a couple of times already. It's not where you think it is. I see some people remember, some people don't. Good. Hashtag was beside the enter key. You got it? Yep. So hashtag 1 to mean line 1, which here is the matrix, and then we do our power symbol, which I showed you at the start, power minus 1, and then enter. So what I want you to do is put matrix on line number 1, power minus 1. And you should get that on the screen, which is the matrix with the power minus 1. You got that? Good.
Sorry, Stephen.
Yes?
I left my phone.
Oh yeah, go get it. Where did you leave it? Do you remember it? Did anybody sit down and see a phone when they sat down? Your phone? Oh, it's gone, is it? Yeah, I wouldn't trust these students now. Don't know your phone number? Baby, you don't know your phone number? Oh, man. Yeah. Tell you what, go get your friend to call you, and when I get the phone ring, I'll pick it up, okay? It's okay. Okay, so after you've done that, after you've done that, just hit the equals button here and it'll give you the inverse matrix. There's no reason to be talking. If you have a problem, just put up your hand. Hey, what did I just say? Wait 1 second. Yes? No, first you have to get it saved. Then hashtag 1 power -1. Okay. Go on.
Press the equal.
All right. Now, how can we check that this is right? Well, if we multiply this by our first matrix, the answer should be 1, 0, 0, 1. So what we type in now is line 1 multiply line 3, enter, and then equals. So line 1 multiply line 3. So you want to multiply your two matrices. Line 1 multiply line 3. You got the identity matrix? Okay. Yeah. Yep, good. And then. Yes, amazing. Good, okay. And then let's get this line back up. So your answer is on line 4, isn't it? Right, so just highlight again. Good stuff. Yes. Oh yeah, okay, let me just highlight again. Okay, so once it's highlighted like this, I'll press equals. There we go. What? You stop. You can hear somebody's having trouble, so just put up your hand where it's making that sound. Who was it?
No, I was just playing around.
Good. Now, next thing we're going to do is how to square a matrix. So that's not much difficult. What we'll do is we'll take our matrix I put at the start on line 1. So this time I type line 1 power 2. So line 1 power 2. So you should get this on the screen. So your matrix on line 1, put it to the power of 2, and then when it's highlighted like this, press equals, and it should square it. No, you need to do start from multiply. That's the problem. Good. Good. Got it? Good. Of course it is. Start symbol for multiply. Here. Okay. So, now, hey, listen. So now we have done two things. Calculate the inverse of a matrix, and calculate the square of a matrix. So in other words, you can do matrix to any power now. So the next thing we're going to look at is how to calculate the determinant of a matrix. Remember determinant? So let's calculate the determinant of our answer here. So we know that the answer should be 7 times 22 minus 10 times 15. If you want derive to calculate it, what you do is you type in DET, determinant. So DET for determinant. No, I'd like to, but it's not important. It shouldn't affect the answer. So DET line 7. Or maybe to make it clearer, so here I'll move the screen up a bit. DET line 7 like this. And then enter. And this should come up on the screen. And once it's highlighted like that, the calculated, press equals. Good job. No, you have to hit equals. Okay. Oh, you got it. Good. Okay. Got it? You got it, Yours is on line 6. That's why I can't. Yours is on line 6. Okay. Now, looks like most people got this. So what we're going to do now is something that you did like in maths class, where we put in a matrix and we want to know when it does not have an inverse. So we want to know when the determinant is 0. So again, alter matrix, and this time again 2 by 2. So I'd like you to type this matrix in. Yeah, x plus 3, x, 2x, and 3. So x plus 3, x, 2x, and 3. So we want to know, Abdal, x plus 3, x, 2x, and 3. So we want to know, I'm just going to wait until people are quiet. Now, we would like to know when does this matrix not have an inverse. So it does not have an inverse when its determinant is 0. So this time I'll type in determinant of line 10 equals 0. Let's talk in more derived. No, see, you're going ahead, okay? You're confusing him. I just need you to type line, this line here, okay? Got to type it? Well, that's what I'm going to do in a moment, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Now. Shh. Look up. So, some people have this in, and some people went ahead and typed equal. And those people who pressed equal, they got a quadratic. Yep. Now, you don't even have to do that, because you can make the quadratic if you like, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to ask Derive to solve it at this step. So, to solve it, and if you made the quadratic, that's okay, you do the same thing. You go to solve, expression, make sure you pick x to be real, and then solve. So solve expression real. So I got x is minus 3 over 2 or x is 3. Yeah. Of course, yeah.
X equals minus 2 over 2.
And 3.
On BB's then, right?
I think it means more actually, yeah. Yes.
But this one is UK.
Seriously? You know this is being recorded too.
But I'm not gonna watch the whole hour.
Oh.
I'm sorry to take so much time from your busy life.
Down to 10.
Okay, so let me make some space here. I'll just clear all of these. I'd like you to type in these 3 matrices. So the first one, we'll keep it simple again. It's 2, 2, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's the first one to type in. Now, the next one I'd like you to type, I want this one here to have, let's see, 2 rows and 1 column. 2 rows and 1 column. So it should look like this. So we'll just say 5 and 6. 2 rows and 1 column. And then the last one, 1 row and 2 columns. So 1 row and 2 columns at the end. And we'll just call that 7 and 8 then. So I want you to type these 3 in.
Last one, 1 and 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got them typed in? Come on, hurry up, type those 3 in.
Why are we doing this? Press some to the
No,
phone.
no, Patrick, I just do mine off. You got one?
I don't know.
Good, good.
Maybe it's a waste of the
What could possibly be the problem? Yeah.
And then okay, and then
Yeah, it's 5 and 6 is for that vertical one.
yeah, but how about the one you do?
That's just your normal 2 and 2.
What do you need to do with that?
Wait and see. Okay, do you have the 3 typed in? So what I'd like to do is I want to multiply these 3 together. I want to multiply these 3 together. But if you remember from maths class, you can't just multiply them in any order, because some of the multiplications you can do and some of them you can't do. So take the first one, the square one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we multiply that by 5 and 6 or by 7 and 8? Which one? 5 and 6. So you must have the 5 and 6 after the 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means your last one there, the 7 and 8, must be in front of all of those. In other words, you must type them in the order 3, 1, 2. Now I'll type it and show you what it looks like and explain a bit more. 3, 1, 2. Now look, the reason is, when you multiply these 2, you know you go row and column. Right? So you absolutely must have a column here. And then for the next number you go row and column. So after you multiply these, how many numbers will you have? 2. And what way will they? Horizontal or vertical? They'll be vertical. So you need to imagine that there'll be 2 vertical numbers here. So we can do row by column. So we're expecting only 1 number at the end as the answer. So after I type it in, I hit equal, and that's the number. Get the wrong order. These two are the wrong way. This one should be in the front of all of them. So put your 16 in the front of all those.
I have a really good question.
Yeah.
So, does the sequence matter?
Say again?
Does the sequence of...
Oh yes, it does. Yeah. So in fact, you see, you've got different answers to B because you have a different sequence. So the order is important. Just thinking. Yeah, see, it's the 7, 8 first, then the 1, 2, 3, 4, then the 5, 6. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Now click this here. Alter matrix. 2 rows, 1 column. 2 rows, 1 column. 1 column. Yep. There you go. 7. That's because you typed in 5 and 6 here. It should be 7 and 8. My numbers are 7 and 8. Yes? No? Okay. Angela.
No! That's a lie.
It is, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that pretty much covers everything we've done in class in matrices. So you have determinant, inverse, square, cube, multiplying them, and then of course, I won't even bother to do it, but you know, like add and subtract would just be the same. Matrix 1 plus matrix 2, matrix 1 minus matrix 2. So what we're going to look at now is functions. So, the way to get functions and derive, you just have to spell the function out. For example, if you want sine of 1, you just type sine of 1. If you want log of 1, you just type log of 1, and so on. So if you want derive to calculate it, you can do simplify, approximate to get it as a decimal, simplify, approximate to get it as a decimal, because we know log of 1 is 0. Tan of 2, simplify, approximate. So it's quite easy to get a function and derive. You just have to type it. Sine, cos, tan, log. Yeah. If you want it as a decimal, in my example, it has to be approximate.
Maybe you approximate.
Approximate.
Maybe you press.
Approximate.
You can only press.
Yeah, no, you know. Simplify, approximate. Now, just in case I didn't tell you, I'll tell you this again. The only function that's different than this, we did sine, cos, tan, log, whatever, they're all like this, except for one, which is e. Now, if you want to type in the e, stop talking. Now, stop talking. I'll start kicking people out. Just stop talking. So, if you want to get the e function in, the way to type e is you have to use the constant e. And there's 2 ways to get the constant e. One way is just by clicking the e button, which you see is right beside the pi button. That's one way. Or the way I usually do it, which is quicker, is type Control E. So press the E button or Control E, and we'll do power 2. So I'm looking for you to type this in, E squared. So Control E, power 2, or press the E button, power 2. So you should get 7.3 roughly. Yes?
Always 10. Simplify, approximate 10.
If I don't say in the question, then yes. Okay. Next now. Shh, look up. So what I want to do next is make my own function. So I want to make my own function. So the way to do this is you type in f of x, and here's the key thing now, to define. So to define your own function, you type colon equals. So the two dots and equals. And in my example, let's say it's x squared plus x plus 1. So you have f of x colon equals x squared plus x plus 1. So what I've done now is I've made my own function called f of x. Somebody tell me from looking at it, when x is 1, what should f of 1 be? Should be 3. Yes? So we'll type in, as an example to check, f brackets 1, like that, and then hit equals, and you should get 3. Got that? Good job. Yep. Oh dear.
She was in Ireland. She had a shooting.
The only thing I can think of now is save this on the desktop, close and open again. Save it on the desktop, close it, and then open it again. Yes. Yeah, but if you want it as a decimal, you can do simplify, approximate. Yeah, simplify, approximate, approximate. Yes? Approximate? Yes? No?
It's an estimate, but it's not. So you
No, you're not doing that. You just have to actually do. Click this, and click simplify, approximate, approximate. Okay, I'm good. I'll start punching you now, alright? Now, you can see that's convenient when you have to use a function a lot of times. So here, f of x will stay like this for the rest of the program. So as long as derive is open, every time you use f now, it will use this function. So it's being defined. So for example, do you remember we had to do fx plus h minus fx all over h? Who remembers what that should equal? What should that equal? Derivative. Remember? So yes, first principle derivative. So I want everybody to type in f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Make sure you use brackets. Got that? Now, looking at the function x squared plus x plus 1, who can tell me what's the derivative here? What should it be? 2x plus 1. So how do you make fx plus h minus fx all over h into a derivative? What do you do to the h?
0.
Yes. So the way we tell derive to make h go to 0, when we have this highlighted, click the button here, lim, which means find limit. So we click lim. Now, make sure you change the variable to h and set it to 0 and then simplify. So we're saying h goes to 0, simplify. You forgot your close bracket. That's right. Yes. Did you type it in right? Did you make the h come? No, you said h come to 0. You have to make the h come to 0. I have to move on now. Now! Let's type in another function, and this time we'll do one where we find the infinite limit, where n goes to infinity. So we'll just type in 2n plus 1 over 3n minus 1. So let me zoom up a bit. 2n plus 1 over 3n minus 1. So if I put n equals 1, I see I can get, sorry, if I put n equals 0, I'll get minus 1. And if I put n equals 1, I'll get 3 over 2. And as I make n bigger and bigger, this will start moving to some number. So this is called, if you remember, the limit. What's the name of the sequence which moves to a limit? What's it called? Convergent. Convergent. So we would like to find the limit here. So the way to find the limit is, again, we click the limit button. And this time it's n, but we want it to go to infinity. Now, how do you type in infinity? Well, there's an infinity symbol somewhere. I can't quite see when it's minimized. Limit. It's beside the pi. So we make n go to infinity. There we go. 2 over 3. So infinity symbol. I think another way to get infinity might be to type it as well. Limit, yeah. And then change that to infinity. Good. Okay. So last thing to show you before you go is we haven't done how to calculate a sum. So this is when you want to add lots of terms together. So for example, I'll just type in n squared. So type in n squared. So we would like to do 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 4 squared all the way up to, let's say, 100 squared. Okay? So if you look up the top of the drive, you see that there's a symbol that looks like the sum symbol. So when you have your n squared highlighted, click this summation symbol here, find sum. And this box should open. Now you have two words there, lower and upper limit. So lower is where we want to start. So what was our first term I gave you? What was the start number? 1. And what do I want to go to? 100. So put in 1 to 100.
That's changing n to 100.
Yeah, 1 to 100. And then simplify. Got it? Negative number You have it upside down. You have 100 to 1. It should be 1 to 100. Convenient, yeah? Yeah? Good, okay. Now, actually, I'll just show you one last small thing. It'll only take you a moment. You've all done now in class derivatives and antiderivatives. So just really quick, let me show you how you can calculate derivative. So let's just type in x squared. Okay, what should the derivative here be? 2x. The way to calculate derivative is there's a little symbol beside lim where it says find derivative. It's on the right of the lim button. Do you see it? Yes? So if you click that and then click simplify, there's 2x. Yes? Just pick the number 2. It's a good point. Shh, hey, stop talking. Now look up. I'm going to click x squared again. I'm going to click derivative again, but this time I'm changing this number to 2. The order is 2 now to make it a second derivative. So what should the second derivative here be? And it is. And finally, integration. So we'll do 2 types of integration. One without limits and one with limits. So again, we'll click x squared and then click the integrate symbol and then click simplify. So what should the answer be? X cubed over 3. There's it there. Did you get x cubed over 3? And then finally now we'll do it again, but this time from 0 to 1 as our limits. So I'll click x squared again, I'll click integrate, but this time I pick definite. And my lower limit will be 0, and my upper limit will be 1, and I'll simplify, and there you can see the answer at the end, 1 over 3.